important to be looking at here is that when we look at the amount of space has grown and new space that has grown under 10 years old, you can see from this slide that it is significantly more technically complex. On a scale of 1 to 5, the under 10 buildings are 3.4. The over 50 buildings are 2.7. So you can see that there's a step down in each of these technical complexity categories as we look at older space. So newer space tends to be more technically complex, and that can drive up costs, particularly energy costs, because these buildings tend to be much more dependent on electrical components and motors and air conditioning and HVAC systems that are complex and have high cost to operate, and also requires more mechanical staff. Now, campuses have choices about how they're going to address mechanical staffing. They can either go out and buy services through companies that do HVAC, or they can add more mechanical staff. So you would expect that given the growth we've seen in new space and that level of technical complexity, that probably campuses are adding more mechanical staff. But when we take a look at the trade mix, we see that campuses have not adjusted. Staff is about the same if we look at the mix between structural, mechanical, and general tradespeople. In general, we have about the same kind of proportion of mechanical versus structural and general trade people. So we'd think that maybe this would change, and on some campuses we found that it has, that as they've added a lot more complex space, they've hired more mechanical people, brought more of those services in-house. So again, another trend that we want to look at and see in terms of our campuses adjusting their trade mix of staff to make sure that they have the people on staff